Coach Steve Lutz, you guys are free to ask any questions. Coach, catching up on this past weekend, obviously that's 3 in a row. That's the first time this year you guys have lost 3. What was holding you back in that one?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we're certainly disappointed in having lost 3 in a row. You know, we put ourselves in a position being down at halftime that we had to dig ourselves out of a hole in the second half, and it you know, it came down to one play again, and you know, the ball went their way, or at least the officials deemed the ball that went their way out of bounds, and their player hit a shot. You know, we've been on the other end of that too, right? I mean, you think back towards earlier in the year, and we've gotten that defensive stop at the end of the game to win the game. But unfortunately, we put ourselves in that position on Saturday and came up on the short end.
That's kind of been the theme during this 3-game stretch. I mean, you guys have had slow starts. Even against Middle, you guys rallied from down to take the lead at halftime. Just rough first halves.
Yeah, you know, I've said it several times before. I don't think we've practiced real well over the last couple of weeks, but on Friday I thought we were great. We had great energy. We were playing for one another. I thought we were in a great mental space. And then Saturday, you know, you come out against FIU and you don't start off well. We changed the starting lineup a little bit, but you know, I don't think that had any bearing as to how we started the game. Just we've got to focus more on what makes us good, and that's when we play good defense and we can get out and turn defense into offense. When we get into those half-court games, that's not who we are.
Being where we are in the season right now, does it concern you at all that these slow starts have kind of injured the team when it comes down to that at the end of the game as we're heading to the last game of the season?
Of course, it concerned me earlier in the year when we had some slow starts as well. You know, I mean, that's just part of being the coach. But, you know, if and when we start putting 40 minutes back together, you know, we were going to put ourselves in a position to be able to go win the conference tournament, you know. But we've got to figure out ourselves in between now and Saturday. We've still got to go to Liberty, which is going to be a big game in terms of seeding, right? And, you know, it's a big week. This is what college basketball is about. This is what's fun in March, is that you're jockeying for positions to be able to put yourself in the best position once you reach the conference tournament.
Do you feel that this week, you know, you've had 2 games across 2 weeks, you've been able to have a week to kind of lead up to these games? Do you feel that that's a plus where you guys can fix some things, last-minute things before you head into the postseason, or do you feel just having that consistent game, 2 games a week, 3 games a week, even sometimes, to be able to just continue to go down the line?
I think that the guys really enjoy the continuity. You know, they like obviously to play rather than practice, and so they enjoy playing Wednesday, Saturday, or Thursday, Saturday. But with that being said, this gives us an opportunity to kind of get ourselves back going, and we'll do that through working in the gym and getting your 300 in every day and practicing hard. But there's certainly some things that we need to work on and improve upon in between now and Saturday.
You guys have shown the ability to reel off some wins. You've had some winning streaks this season too. A lot of those were close games that you were winning. These are close games that you lose. And to get back on the other side of that, is it minor adjustments? Is it just making sure you're more focused? I mean, what can you do as a coaching staff to help them?
Well, you can play better, you know, that always helps. But we've got to get back to, as I said earlier, you know, you've got to play better defense. And when we've played good defense, then that's translated into offense for us, and that's got us easy opportunities on the offensive end. And, you know, especially in the first half against Florida International, we didn't guard the basketball. We were constantly in rotations. They were constantly beat us, and now you've got to help, and then you've got to help again. And you can't play from behind. You just can't defensively if you're going to be good. And you know, earlier in the conference season, we were really good. Our defensive numbers were really good. And you look over the last 5 games, they've not been as good. That's something you can fix. I mean, that's a mental thing, that's a heart thing, that's a hustle thing. You know, that's discipline, and that's something that can easily be fixed. And we showed that in the second half. I thought that we fought and competed a little bit better on the defensive end, and therefore gave ourselves a chance to win. But you know what? You've got to be better for 40 minutes rather than 20.
That's what I was going to ask. Is it more of an awareness thing or an attitude thing?
It was just I don't want to say lack of effort. It was a lack of discipline, and a lack of focus, and a lack of hustle, and a lack of fight, and a lack of heart. All those things rolled into one. It's a lot of things, I hear you. But, those are things that can certainly be fixed within each player. And like I tell the guys, I empathize with you that you have things going on, off of the floor and those sorts of things. But once we get into the basketball floor, man, all that stuff goes away, and you need to concentrate on being great for your team and for your teammates. And, we just need to be better at that.
Do you feel that's more, you've kind of alluded to, more mental or technical on that defensive side of the ball, getting in that right mindset, or is it just a physical game too?
No, I definitely think it's mental, right? All of it is up here. I mean, if you can play good defense in the second half, you can play good defense in the first half. You've just got to put your mind to it. And we've certainly shown that we can be a good defensive team. So when we don't, what's the separator? Well, it's you're not concentrating, or you're not giving good enough effort, or you're not locked in. And those are things, obviously, that you can fix just like that.
Just looking at this Liberty game coming up too, just looking at the raw numbers, Liberty looks like they should have a better record than they do, just based on what they've been doing this year. What do you think, in looking at them, what's been going wrong for them?
Well, I'm sure that there was an adjustment for them, especially early on, with the speed and length and athleticism within the league, right? And not that they didn't have a great non-conference schedule, but you get into league play and everybody knows what the heck you're doing. So I'm sure that there was an adjustment there, but when Liberty makes threes, they're really, really hard to defend. And the nights that they've made threes, they've been fantastic. And the nights where they haven't made threes, like any of us, they're just kind of okay. So, same game plan as before. You've really got to be able to guard one-on-one. You've got to be able to keep the ball in front of you, and you've got to defend the three-point line, and then you really got to attack them inside. They don't have 6'11" and 7 feet inside, and they don't throw the ball inside very much. So you got to flip it on them a little bit. But I still think Liberty's a very good basketball team.
They've lost 3 of their last 4, so they've been on the stretch as well. For you, what do you see that you will have to do and get the advantage over them? What do you have to do for yourself?
We got to worry about us. No offense to Liberty. As I've said, I think they're a very good team. I think Richie does a good job with them, but we've got to fix everything within our organization first, and that's the most important thing. And when we play hard and we play for one another, and we don't care, who takes the last shot to win the game, or we don't care, who draws the best defensive assignment, we're pretty good. But when we let those ulterior motives and those outside noises get into our heads, and we're not playing for one another, we're just simply not quite as good. So we've got to get ourselves right first. Before you can worry about anything else in this game, you've got to worry about yourselves. And I think we made a step, Friday in practice that direction. I think we made a step Saturday for the most part in the second half. But we've got to do that today and tomorrow and Wednesday and Thursday and then Friday, and show it on Saturday at the end of the day. You can sit up here and talk about it all you want, but you've still got to be able to do it.
During this 3-game stretch too, Don McHenry's scoring was dipped a little bit. First 2 games a little, the last game obviously. You're getting that production elsewhere, so is that a concern at all? He has been the most reliable.
Yeah, of course. You want your best players to be best at the end of the year, right? And for whatever reason, he struggled to shoot the ball a little bit from the floor. And but more importantly, like I tell him, if you're not shooting well, it's no big deal. You still got to be able to defend the ball. You've still got to be able to distribute and run the team and lead the team. And that's been a little bit of an issue for him here lately. Obviously, I started Jack in the second half of the FIU game, and that's just because I felt like Jack gave us the best opportunity to win at that moment, and he did a pretty good job. But then Don came in off the bench, got a steal, a dunk, and he did some good things. So Don's fine. Don's a good player. He'll be an all-league player, but we do need him to play well, right? We need him to play well. When he plays well, that helps all of us.
Yeah, obviously, you want to finish out strong too. You don't want to go into conference play on a 4-game slide, but you're going to win or you're going to lose. You got to play anyway. Is it more important to kind of get some momentum, or is the seeding more important?
Oh, I don't know that it matters one way or another. I mean, when you get to Huntsville next week, whether you go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever, I mean, you've got to be in the the mindset that you're going to win 3 games, whether you're the 3 seed, the 2 seed, or the 4 seed, right? And I know there's a slim chance maybe to be the 2 seed, but nonetheless, whether you're the 3 or the 4 seed, you still got to win 3 games, 3 days, right? So what matters most is, like I said earlier, is us getting our team together, us getting our minds right, and us focusing on playing our best basketball here at the end of the season.
That's it.
Cool. Thanks, guys.